All right. So we're still doing repressed messages, and some of you are wondering what's going on in someone else's mind, so we're going to go ahead and look at that. I normally don't do that, but because it's coming through in the form of suppressed messages, I want to bring it to light, see what's going on here. So I am going to let the cards come out on their own, so we're going to give it a moment, because again, these are suppressed messages that are coming from other people. They're not your energy, so they may not want to be read. Okay, so there's one on the floor. Let's see what that is. Ace of Wands. Passion. Let's see what else comes through. Very strange, but the word secret admirer came up to me for some reason, which none of these cards really mean that. The reason why well, you know what? Let's get, what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get the other two on the table for this row, and then I'll walk you through the thought process as those came out. As they were, yeah. And then we've got the Nine of Pentacles, the Chariot upright with 3. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we got more than a couple of cards here. All right. So I saw this Ace of Wands and I thought of passion, right? I was like, well, there's passion on the table. The only thing that was on the table, right, was passion. And then this Five of Wands. I saw the Five of Wands next, and I was kind of like, well, you know, sometimes passion does include like some kind of banter, or I wasn't going to say fighting with the wands. Sometimes it comes off to me as more of a, you know, poking back and forth or something, not necessarily a full-blown fight, but more of a, hey, you know, you better stop that, like, you know, banter is the best word that I can come up with. You know, verbal kind of back and forth, right? And then I saw actually the Magician card before I saw this Three of Cups, right? So I saw the Magician and my brain went, oh, he's going to magician himself, or she's going to magician themselves right out of this, whatever the situation is, because there's some kind of, like, we'll call it conflict right now, right? And then we had this Three of Cups. I kind of felt like this person who I thought of as the secret admirer might have a significant other, which would then make you the third party, right? And then this Two of Wands came up, which sometimes is kind of like a crosswords or a choice. This does say options, which is interesting considering we're talking about matters of the heart. And then planning also really stood out as well. Decision, so, you know, choices, magicianing themselves right out of that situation, right? And then I had this Four of Pentacles here, and a lot of times for me the Four of Pentacles is them holding on to something, or not wanting, you know, maybe being even greedy. He's in reverse, but he's also next to the Lovers that are in reverse. And so I think that, you know, this passion that they're holding, this secret admirer is holding, is for you, the cross watcher. Remember, we said we were going to look at what they're thinking about. And that they're realizing that the thing that they have is not what they want, this Lovers card upside down. And to go with it too, we have this Nine of Pentacles in reverse as well. We really don't like it. And this Three of Pentacles, I feel like this is kind of us saying we don't want to work on this anymore. And then we have this Chariot next to the Empress, right? Let's do the second row. So obviously on this right now melded together as two separate decks. So we can very easily get some of the same cards on the second row. But like I said, I do want them to present themselves. I don't want to pull them. You know, this thing is coming out as a choice, but I don't, it's almost like this person doesn't really have a choice. It's almost like they're not the type of person that can not be true to themselves. And so they don't have a choice. And then this Seven of Swords came out. So, you know, betrayal, lack of conscience, deception, trickery, double life, liar, sneaky, thief. So it's underneath the Ace of Wands. Oh, okay. So, yeah. The person that we're looking at with the significant other, let's just say that card, it represents the person that they're with, okay? They consider this passion for you a betrayal. They're mad because the way that this person regards you makes them feel more, wow, I was going to say alive, but I just meant like, well, even more of a man wasn't exactly 100% what I was trying to get at, but in a sense, yes. Makes them feel like the man, makes them feel like more of a man, makes them feel like they want to step forward and do the things that stereotypically men would do for their significant other, you know, protect them. Let's just throw some other stuff out there, like guide them, nurture them, support them, you know. Their desire for you makes them want to be that person. And this other person here, they don't have that. They will actually never have that. Because of the way that they're being, whoa! All right, first of all, this just fell into my lap, but then some stuff fell on the floor first. So this, oh, see, I thought that was just one card. We have Eight of Wands, and then we have this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Check that out. So we got the King of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, and then the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, right? And then this star was just upside down. And I have the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, and then this one kind of came out after this Five of Cups. And so I feel like sorry, there's like a bunch of stuff going through my head right now all of a sudden, and well, I got that they are trying to race away from this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. They playing nice doesn't seem to work anymore, or doesn't work anymore. This person cannot be themselves. I feel like this is the thing they want to give and the person they have to be to give it. And I feel like they can't be around this every day and be this. And so they're kind of like trying to figure out, like, what does that mean if I leave this thing? What else do I lose, and what do I still have with me to work with as I'm trying to do this? Because we have not lost sight with what it is that we're trying to do, and we might be even a little bit, beaten down, like tired. but still, oh, here we go again with these cards that want to be on the floor, but still trying to do something. So 4 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles. It kind of came out more like this. Trying to do something, that 7 of Pentacles there. Do I really want to do this? And then the 4 of Pentacles, like I have, you know, 2 cups filled and 3 cups knocked over, but I don't see the 2 cups, you know, behind me that are filled. And so I feel like I kind of have nothing. And so I sort of want to hang on to everything. But the reality of the situation is some of this stuff is attached to other stuff, and I can't do that. Look, here we are again. Seven of Pentacles, but it's in reverse. Is that the 6? It is. Why did I think that was the 7? This person, they're stable, but they go back and forth because they're not stable. Because they're still kind of wounded. Like, remember when I said that they were going to magician themselves out of this? That's hard to do. Well, it's hard to do anyway. But it's also hard to do when you're not at 100%. They're not at 100%. Yeah. So I'm getting this upside down tower has come out recently, and I'm really taking this upside down tower, this meaning, this new meaning this card carries, as like, we'll let you sit in this forever if that's what you want to do. Yeah. So now we have the 8 of Pentacles, which means we're going to try to dig ourselves out of this 7 of Pentacles hole. Because we still don't know how to magician ourselves out of that. We know that there's a way. We know that... Interesting. So... Alright, so one of the things that I noticed on this card was that he has one of each element on this card. He has a sword, a wand, a cup, and a pentacle. And I said he was going to magician himself out of there. And then I said that he knows that there's a way to magician himself, or she knows that there's a way to magician themselves out of this energy. First of all, I believe that it's because... they believe in what they're doing it for. So this Empress here sort of for me signifies this kind of wand cup energy. And I kind of feel like the sword, you know, pentacle energy is kind of like what they want to bring. And I feel like because they believe in this, oh wow. So because they believe in this, they know that they can make it work. Like they know they can. They don't really know how yet. They don't actually have to know how, you know, if they're trying to manifest, they don't actually have to know how. They can let the universe worry about that. Goddess of the Moon was in reverse. If they wish for it and they don't offer any resistance to it, the situation can present itself. It might look a little bit like a tower, but it wouldn't be a tower in the sense of, oh, the universe, they got tired of watching you do this and they moved you. It would be more of like, you wished for this and you set this in motion, and so it looks like a tower, but it's really not. It's kind of like when people think they're being like punished, but they're not. They're just being realigned. This Journey card upside down. It's weird. As I said, realigned, it made me feel like this card, like the feeling behind it was more of like, I'm not allowed to go where I want to go. I'm being forced to go another way. That's not necessarily true. The reason I've said it before, the reason why you feel like you're being forced to go another way is because you agreed to it. Like in your plan for what was going to happen, like on this planet, in order for you to like get what you were going to get, this card is like symbolizing everything. You had to change in a certain way. You had to be on a certain vibration. And so you agreed to be realigned into that vibration so that you could get what was promised to you. We can't fight the vibration. We're going to have to just do that. And sometimes there's a lot of resistance. Sometimes we offer that resistance ourselves because of either the belief system that we have, that we feel like we're not worthy of it or it won't come to us, or that that whatever's happening means something else than what it actually means. And so we kind of act like depending on that, when in reality we just had to kind of sort of look at it as a lesson. No need to fear. So this is like kind of one of those situations where it's like part of the process. Like, let's say that what I'm saying is 100% accurate, and you're a person that someone else is watching and they actually have like a significant other, and this person thinks that their passion for you is a betrayal of their relationships. This is belong to your own dream. You know, let's use the argument that maybe everybody agreed to this. Let's use the argument that the person who's realizing it agreed to it. The person who's feels like they're getting left out agreed to this, and let's say that you agreed to this, even though you would not agree to breaking up a family to like be with someone. Let's just use that as an example. So it's going to look like a tower. It's going to look like punishment. It's going to look like, especially like I said, if you're being poked and prodded into a certain, you know, it's not just for them, it's for you too. If you have a secret admirer and you have someone special in your life, and this secret admirer is actually supposed to be someone significant, then this, you know, does pertain to you, even if you don't think you care about it. Especially if someone chose to step forward in an awkward moment and profess their love, right? And the longer they stand around and don't say anything, the more awkward it gets, right? Well, how long have you been watching me? Oh, 8 years. You're like, stalker! I want one more card. I want one more. Okay. Never Jam Today came out, but it came out in reverse. So this situation is saying that it doesn't really matter the hostilities. Again, if you were in a situation where this was promised to you, or you were, agreed to become a certain thing, to get a certain thing, and it happened to be this, and you feel like you're being pushed, then this is confirmation that you will get what it is that you want. This is all based on what you want, not what someone else wants for you. The situation is, and the reality of it is, that if you want certain things in this life, you have to be a vibrational match to it. So if you're not, you won't have it, or you won't be able to keep it. And so your birthright was to be able to keep it. And so in order to do that, your vibration has to match it. And sometimes you'll get poked this way and poked that way. And, maybe even a little bit of balance is interjected into the situation so that you can be in more of a place where you look at it from a more balanced perspective, so that when you do create, you can create from a more balanced perspective, right? Sometimes people don't even know how they're doing it. They just do it because they have a belief system that they are, like it is their birthright, that they are, if you're looking for love and this person's looking for love, and the relationships that you have are not as high as this love is supposed to be, and by high I just mean elevated, where you're with someone who's just more mindful about what they're giving, what they're receiving, how they approach you, how they deal with you, as opposed to maybe people who don't hit all of those things. Let's just leave it there. And, there's certain things that we're going to have to let go of. I feel like that Four of Pentacles is somewhere on the table. But definitely have to stop crying about stuff that we're letting go of. Because we have to let go of those things to get what we want. We need to keep our eyes on what we want, right? We have to keep believing that we can magician ourselves out of this situation, that it absolutely can be done to get to what it is that we want and to be able to move, especially if we're being inhibited from moving because of, anything, something someone's saying, something someone's doing, Yeah, here's my Four of Pentacles. We need to agree to let go of some things that don't fit, that can't come with us, some toxic behaviors, or some way that we relate to people, or the way that we relate to people in relationships, or the way that we relate to ourselves in relationships. Maybe this card could represent the fact that that person does not feel good enough to move towards you. They've been in a thing where they're here, but they're wounded by this person. And so all of a sudden now this person who considers you to be the enemy is going to make it 10 times worse, because they want to make sure that on the way out that door, that person is depleted. That person is sad. That person is angry. They feel like they have nothing. So certain things, if that person feels like they're not good enough for you, they're going to have to let that go. That's not balance anyway. And that could be the thing that's stopping them from moving forward, because they're just as big of a wonderful creator as you are. They can stop themselves or stop this connection anytime they want. And you may not want this connection. I'm getting that some of you don't even know who this person is, but some of you might know. And you already know. And so again, confirmation that sometimes things are supposed to happen in a certain way, and not to feel guilty about the fact that something might be breaking up so that something else can start, because it's a possibility that that's exactly the way it was supposed to be. And we don't want to hang on to ideas around that when things are presenting and happening exactly the way they were supposed to be. You're kind of just along for the ride, right? Well, the ride for the dream that you created. And so is everyone else involved. It's just a question, are you willing to do the work to get there and understand sometimes that the journey seems a little strange? I'm not sure if you want to participate, right? But there's so much in store if you do. Keep it in mind. Until we meet again.